Today is December the 6th, Sunday. I'm wearing shorts. Hard to believe, hung clothes out today. We've already had Christmas with some of our adult kids who had to come down and arrange our schedules and everything, so we've been recovering from that today. Enjoyed the time with them, ate turkey, ham, green bean casserole, we ate tons of stuff. So now we're kind of regrouping, and I'm going to take some of the leftovers and do some things with them, but this is our garden this time of year. Pretty much the only thing we have in the garden this time of year is greens. We have purple top turnips, Florida, Georgia greens, mustard greens, all kinds of greens. We had a really hot, dry summer and even going into the fall, and we had to water a lot just to get these to survive. But something we had trouble with this year that we normally don't is deer. The deer actually were so thirsty, they were coming out and eating these, so we weren't sure we were going to have anything to work with. The spinach never did recover, so we don't have any spinach this year. But as you can see, the greens did recover. Other than some bugs eating a little bit on them, they really turned out beautiful. So the way I prepare the greens is probably a little different from a traditional way, but I'm going to go ahead and pick a big mess. I'm going to fill this bucket up right here, this basket, because they will melt down. These stems are so tender you really don't even have to cut them off. The ones that you buy normally at the farmer's market or the store seem to have a tougher stem in them than the ones that we just grow and come right out and pick. But these things will melt down, and we're going to use some sausage and some bacon drippings, a little red pepper flake and some onion, and we'll show you how we're going to put all that together. But I got to get busy picking. It's going to take a while to fill this basket up. All right, we've got a basket full. I've packed it pretty well. But this is going to really melt down as we cook it, and it will sit down. It takes a lot of greens to make a good mess, but I think this is going to be just right. I'm going to go in and show you how we clean these really well, and then what we do to put it all together. It's a pretty simple process, but I really love the way the greens retain their flavor. I'll show you how we're going to cook them, but I'm going to take my time here and clean these really well. Okay, front and back leaves, all of each one of these. For the greens, we've got some regular onion, some purple onion, and this is some bell pepper and some other peppers out of the garden that we still had left. You know, I've cut them kind of thick. I want them to be able to maintain some of their integrity, all right? And we're going to be layering this in between the greens as we cook them. We're going to salt and pepper, little red pepper flakes, and some bacon drippings, and just keep layering that until it wilts down. We're going to show you what that's going to look like, because it's going to look like it's too much for the pot, but it won't be. As I layer it, I want all of these flavors to start coming together, and it's really going to be good. And then I'll toss the bacon bits and then the sausage that we're cooking in at the last minute and bring it all together. Then we're going to show you a little bit about cornbread. We're going to make some cornbread to go with that. This recipe is the best recipe. It comes from my husband's grandmother. She never measured anything, but I went and watched her make the cornbread before she dumped it in. I measured it and then got the recipe. If you do it by this recipe, it'll be perfect. All right, this is for the greens. We've begun to work on them. We've got them all cleaned and ready to go. Now, what I've done is just chopped up a little bit of bacon. I like some bacon bits in my greens, but I've cooked them really slow and made them a little crisp, but look at the fat that's going to be left down in there. I'm going to cook some sausage, and this is link sausage that I've already cut up. We're going to throw it in here and let it cook in the bacon drippings. Bacon drippings are a key to this dish. You got to have bacon drippings. Every time I cook bacon for anything, I always save the drippings. Okay, you can see those right here. See these two containers here? That's bacon drippings. This is going to be key to what we're fixing. Let me show you what we're going to do. Here's our sausage. We're throwing the sausage in and going to fry it up. Once we fried it up really well, we're going to take it out of the pan. And that's when we're going to start working with the greens and the onions. Let me show you showing you the process of how we layer the greens with the onions and all of the seasonings. We've got our sausage and bacon drippings that are in there. What I'm going to do is throw a little bit of red pepper flake in the bottom, because we like just a little bit of bite. Okay, I'm going to throw that in there. Now we're going to throw some of the onion. I want this to really be flavorful, and this is going to add tremendous flavor. Some of the red onion, the regular onion, bell pepper, out of the garden, some other peppers. All right, now we're going to start now by throwing the greens on top of that. All right, now look, that looks great. All right, I'm going to throw these in. That looks like a lot, but we have a long way to go, okay? We're going to throw a little bit of salt and some pepper. This is going to wilt down beautifully. And I'm going to throw a little bit more red pepper flake right on top. Now, we're going to let that melt down. Put the lid on and it's going to steam it down. And then we're going to start rotating it. We'll take our tongs, we're going to rotate it over, put some more greens, some more onions, a little more bacon drippings, a little more salt and pepper, and just keep doing that until we have cooked all of our greens. Once we're done, it's wilted down, we'll throw our sausage and our bacon in there and finish it up. Alright, this is my cornbread skillet. This is the only thing I cook in this skillet is cornbread. Now what I've done is put a little oil in there. I'm going to put a little bit more. So I need a little bit more. Alright, and what I'm going to do is stick this in the oven and let it get hot. And you see I've rolled it around because what we want is cornbread to pop out of that thing perfect and golden brown, not sticking. So I'm going to stick this in the oven and let it get really, really hot. And then let me show you the rest of what we're going to do. Here's what we're using. We're using some self-rising cornmeal, a little bit of flour, 1 1/4 cups of buttermilk, an egg and a little bit of sugar, and some oil. Let me show you how we put this together. I'm going to put the egg in there, kind of start beating it around. 1 1/4 cups of the buttermilk. Now we're going to start adding some self-rising cornmeal, some yellow cornmeal. We want some heaping spoons of that, 1/4 cups. We'll do this much. We want this cornmeal batter to be runny. It shouldn't be really, really thick, okay? So we've got some cornmeal in here now, mixed up. I'm going to add a little bit of flour. This is just plain flour, a little bit of flour. A little bit of sugar, just a little bit, okay? Stir this around, see how it looks. It's looking good. I'm going to add a little more vegetable oil, and we're going to add the hot oil from the skillet here in just a minute when it comes out of the oven. I've got the oven set at about 425. I've coated it really well with some oil. And then we're going to add that steaming hot oil to this, and it's going to sizzle it and start cooking it from the inside out. That's perfect. Look at that. Now this basic cornbread recipe, you can add corn to it, jalapenos. You can really dress this up in whatever flavor you want depending on what you're fixing. We're going to eat this with our greens and sausage tonight, so we want just some plain old homemade cornbread. It takes a good while for this to cook, about 40 to 45 minutes. We're letting our skillet get hot. We're going to add it to it. We'll show you how we do that in just a minute because we want to leave a little oil still in the skillet, but we want to add it and we'll hear that sizzle going on. And then after it's done, we'll show you how to pop it right out of the skillet and it's ready to eat. Alright, this is our skillet out of the oven. Listen to that, it's perfect. You want to pour all the oil. See, we still got a little bit left in the pan, but we've got it where it's going to start cooking that cornbread from the inside out. Pour it in there, stir it around, and it needs to be a little runny. That's okay. We want it to be a little runny. Oh, that looks great. Okay, now listen to this. I hope you can hear that. That skillet is hot. We've got the cornbread going now. Got a little oil still left in there. Now, this is going to go for about 40 to 45 minutes at a 425 degree oven. It's going to be ready. A big slab of this with those greens, you can't have a better meal than that. Oh gosh, look how good this looks. That's just the first batch. Look how much that wilted down. But oh my gosh, look how beautiful They keep their color, and that flavor is going to be amazing. All right, what I'm going to do is keep going. I'm going to add a little more bacon drippings and start laying some more onion and some more greens and some more salt and pepper, and just keep doing that till we have worked through all of our greens. Look at that. It's going to melt right down. Beautiful. Good amount of salt and some pepper. That's going to be great. A little more red pepper flakes. I don't mind a little seasoning in there. Let that steam, and we'll stir it around some more too. And I'm going to put a little more bacon drippings on that here in just a minute. Let it steam down some. Add the bacon drippings. That flavor is going to be amazing. All right, we added the sausage and the bacon back to it. It's cooked down. It's perfect. Let me give this a sample though. That is so good. The flavor of the mustards and the collards and the turnip greens comes through. A little bite from the red pepper flakes, but that bacon, the bacon drippings just add so much to it without taking away from the flavor of the greens. That's the bomb. Alright, I gotta finish the cornbread so we can get ready to eat. Cornbread is out of the oven. Look at that cornbread. Looks beautiful. It's sizzling. Gotta pop it onto a plate now. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's beautiful. That is beautiful.